So you've likely heard that this lunar eclipse is a big, big cosmic event, and it's true. It is. This lunar eclipse is in Scorpio, and so we are going to have a lot of energies of transformation, of recognizing that we are on our new timelines, of shifting gears if we want to jump into a new timeline. Ooh, my ears ringing right there. It is really, I'm hearing anointed, okay? Some of you are really going to realize where you're at in your own healing journey, in your own spiritual quest for knowledge, I'm hearing. However, there is some difficulty with this lunar eclipse and with this time in general. So the eclipses, the energy we feel from them and that affects our lives, tend to last for about 6 months out. So this is kind of like, I'm hearing a rolling thunder. Okay, rolling thunder coming in. Ooh, so maybe the storm's going to come a little bit later, but we can feel it brewing now. So there's a positive, well, it's not really positive and negative. It's just different ways to feel it and explore it. So there's that scorpion element that stings, and then there's the phoenix that rises from the ashes. So how you want to work with this Pluto/Mars energy is going to really affect the next 6 months for you. Now, Mercury is also retrograde, so it's highly likely that things are going to come back around to your conscious awareness for you to take a look at and deal with. We are going to get into a reading. Just want to talk a little bit about this because it's important, because once you kind of understand what's going on astrologically, it gives you a little bit of a roadmap here for your own personal experience and for the experience of the collective. So the last part I want to say here about the astrology, I mean, there's so many great videos out there talking about the lunar eclipse. So, I encourage you to search that all out. And, those people who do astrology for a living, like hardcore, they know a lot. So check some of that stuff out if you're interested. But the one thing I haven't really come across anybody speaking about is how Venus is conjunct Chiron. There's a stellium in Aries right now. Well, 3 things going on. I guess Chiron is never really counted as a stellium, but we'll just say there's a lot going on in Aries at this moment. Chiron, Venus, and Jupiter. Jupiter just moved into Aries. Jupiter's, as you probably know, the planet of expansion. It's a benefic planet, so it's usually expansion in a good sense. However, with Chiron and Venus being there, and Mercury in retrograde, and the Scorpio lunar eclipse, it is likely that many of you who have placements that are reactive to what's going on here, so, Aries placements, Scorpio placements, Gemini placements, anything Venusian, Libra, Taurus, like pretty much the whole zodiac, right? Okay, so it's highly likely that you are going to find that trauma is coming up for you, or difficult emotions are coming up for you. This is a good time to observe your own feelings. Try to stand back a little bit from the energy as those difficult feelings come up, or you get into a contentious conversation with someone. Just kind of step back, observe what's going on, observe where your feelings are coming from. For many of you, this is going to feel embodied, I'm hearing. Like you could feel it rising up in you, pretty like that Mars energy. You could feel pretty reactive to some things, but just observe and see where that emotion's coming from. What do you want to do with that energy? What's the best course of action for you using that energy? It's not necessarily the best time to go toe-to-toe with someone about your views on trauma, is what I'm hearing, or violence, or anything particularly low vibration or difficult. Saturn is making a difficult aspect to the moon, and so that's karma and restriction. So there will be a temptation to repress some of these feelings that come up, but the moon is also making a really nice, lovely aspect with Mars and Neptune, which is encouraging you to bring out those kind of intuitive, emotional, empathic frequencies and do something with it. So there's a whole bunch of shit going on, all right? And I just want you to know that it's likely to have waves of difficult things come back around, things that you've dealt with in the past. I don't feel like new things are going to be unfolding that are going to be difficult. It's more like a dealing with the past. Many of you are going to see someone's true colors. And I mean that in two ways. I'm hearing Gemini. Yeah, like in two ways here. One is you're going to see their Scorpion side. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So, maybe how they have ill intentions or what they really wanted from you, or, what was actually going on there. And you're going to see that it's going to be painful, potentially, and it's coming back up, or it's being brought into your awareness, the true colors of someone, the nature of someone, so that you can transform it, process it, and deal with it. On the other hand, you're going to see that Phoenix, and you're going to recognize that some people that I'm hearing, or entities, maybe business entities, I don't know, you are going to see how they are working through their karma, how they are truthful and honest, and maybe you didn't think so before, okay? So that's going to be really difficult as well, because when we think somebody's the big bad wolf or not a good person, etc., and then it's revealed to us, we suddenly have a realization that maybe they weren't that all along. That gets us to ask, well, why did we make that assumption in the first place? Where was that coming from? What are we projecting? And we have to do some work, shadow work with ourselves there. Okay, so I feel like some of us are going to look at something a little bit different here. And that's that Pluto energy coming about. I'm exhausted, are you? All right, let's do a reading. We're going to look at a cosmic transformation for this lunar eclipse. Take it easy on yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Be kind with yourself. Try to have some fun. Okay, and if you need to let out emotions, let it out. Okay, let it all out. And I feel like this is a good time to do it, just to have some hermit time with those emotions. Let's put it that way. Okay. Some of you and this is Mercury retrograde, but I'm hearing this. Some of you are going to, somebody's going to come forward and say they had the wrong idea of you or something like this. And that might be very triggering for everyone involved. Okay, so this is a big time here personally, but also collectively. So this message is for the collective, but it could also touch on personal themes as well. So spirit guides, let's see, what do you want to say here? We need 5 cards. This is a reading for the collective. Before we get into it, can I talk anymore? Jeez. I just want to say thank you, everybody, for all your support with the channel. I feel like I'm settling in here a little bit on the channel, and it feels really nice to kind of get into a flow, to get into like a groove space, to build more of a connection with some of the subscribers who I see commenting regularly, and I could feel the energy, and the new subscribers here, I can feel the energy as well, and so welcome. It's just really, I'm feeling really positive about everything that's happening here, and that's all because of you. Well, both of us really, but we'll give you some credit there. All right. Let's see. Oh, we got 5 out here. Okay, so, let's get the cards here. Okay, so let's look at what hurt do you need to release that still stings. We have inner child with the 9 of Wands in reverse. Ready for this? This doesn't have to be your message. And if it's too difficult or it triggers you or you don't like it, you can, click off. Maybe you want to come back later. But it looks a little deep. I'll go midway in. Okay, I'm not going to go right to the depths. I don't know what that's about. Maybe there's a little nervousness of somebody, I'm hearing hooking into those wounded aspects of you. Okay, this could be someone in your life that you're a little worried to encounter. Okay, a soulmate or that can touch on those that you trigger one another. I'm hearing you trigger each other's shadows. All right, that's for someone out there. But this message here, what hurt that do you have that you still need to release, what still stings, is I'm getting the message here very clearly that someone didn't stick up for you or fight for you when you were a child. And that hurts. Okay, so let's get some more on that. What else do you want to say about this? 4 of Wands in reverse and the High Priestess in reverse. Whoa, what's all that? Justice in reverse, Queen of Swords in reverse, the King of Pentacles in reverse, the Sun in the upright, and the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. You had to be really strong, okay, as a child, also now. For many of you, this doesn't have to be everyone, but I'm picking up on difficulties with either father figure or men, a masculine energy in your life here. And it's like also a colder feminine energy. Maybe someone who is really focused on money, but there is a sense of selfishness from, I heard guardians, like maybe parental guardians, or maybe these were other people who raised you, or somebody in your field. I'm actually picturing like a soccer field. I don't know what that's about. But there's somebody here at a young age here who was very self-interested and didn't stand up for you, didn't recognize something that you had been through. And this experience it became enmeshed as part of your identity, as it would naturally, okay? And it created some trust issues, okay? I'm seeing that with the 4 of Wands in reverse and the High Priestess in reverse. In long-term commitments or commitments that I'm hearing that you feel really bonded to, there's a lack of trust and also a over-transparency. So maybe these are 2 different experiences for 2 sets of groups of people here. Let's move on. What self-destructive behaviors do you need to recognize and stop? We have unleash your creativity with the Hanged Man. Not believing in yourself, right? To be a creative being. And creativity is spirituality. It's, at least in my experience and what I feel and what I'm guided to say, creativity is direct access to the divine. It is a state of meditation. It is power. It is transformation. It is creation. It is transmutation. So whatever you feel creative about, maybe you're a musician, maybe you're a visual artist, right? Maybe you're a video editor, maybe you're a content creator, maybe you use tarot as a creative means, maybe you're a makeup artist, whatever you do creatively, don't let anybody put you down for that. And don't let anybody criticize what it is you actually create, okay? Even if you create something that maybe you're not totally proud of, what Spirit wants you to remember it is the creation process, the practice of making whatever it is you're making is how you get closer to the divine. I mean, we're always close, but you know, it's that state of alignment, really. And anybody who has spent some time being in that flow state, that creative state where it's like nothing else matters, all the problems kind of disappear and you're just zoned in on something that you're doing, can tell you how healing that feels. So some of you need to create something perhaps related to something traumatic or some difficult experiences, or even if it's like a heartbreaking situation you've had, creating something will help you gain a new perspective on the situation as well as yourself and your potentials, I'm hearing. Don't beat yourself up for not finishing creative projects. Because again, it's the creation, right? It's not necessarily what you end up creating. I mean, that's insignificant too, but what's happening in this reading is Spirit saying, think it's the process. Okay, so if you finish half a song, half a painting, whatever, half a desk that you're building, whatever it is, that's okay. Don't minimize that experience. Enjoy the process of it. What aspect of your life is undergoing a potent transformation? Sadness. Like to see that there. With the Ace of Cups. Come on, guys. Of course you're going to find new love. What does Spirit want to say here? Many of you were expecting perhaps someone from the past, or you were looking for a soulmate connection, or you're looking for something to be clarified here from the past, something to be revealed to you about why a relationship was so damn sad. Like, why did that have to be so freaking sad? Like, this is what I'm getting. Why did, like, the energy not push through in a productive way? So many of you here have been through breakups, heartache, you got over it, you know, maybe you were hurt, but you eventually got over it and it boosted you, you know, it helped you create things, it pushed you forward in life ultimately. It was part of your path, it was a lesson, you know, all of that good stuff. And then I feel like recently, you know, whatever you've been through, that didn't happen. That healing process feels ongoing, okay? Or it's like you're returning to something. And it's almost like, why can't I get past the sadness? Why can't I get past the hurt? Why can't I get past the anger? Like, what is going on here? And for many of you, you feel like you've learned the lesson. You're aware of what the lesson is consciously, but there's still something that's keeping you in the energy. And this is transforming. This is ending. This is going to be released. The Empress. How? King of Wands in reverse. Could have been dealing with that someone, you know, who had their own stuff to figure out. Let's say that. Many of you are going to be able to transform this and release this by mothering yourself. Whatever guardianship that you didn't have as a child, or, you know, something maybe happened to you and people didn't understand, or nobody was there for you, or maybe something was perpetrated against you, whatever that is for you, it has affected your confidence, okay? And also your willingness to let go, I'm hearing. And now what's happening in this transformative stage here with these eclipses is that you're beginning to learn how to be your own guardian, how to mother yourself, how to be your own protector, how to nourish yourself, much like a parent, okay? So maybe in the past where you'd be tired and you'd be like, oh, I gotta get up and I gotta do stuff, you know, I gotta do it. Maybe now you're like, have a nap, you know, or you're like, it's okay. Have a snack, have a nap, relax, you know, regain your energy, and then you can go at it again. I feel like this is really beautiful here. And you were giving the love back to yourself by being aware of your own needs. Anything else on that? 9 of Pentacles. This is so beautiful. I'm hearing teenager. Maybe this is residual from when you were a teenager, but you're learning how to stand on your own 2 feet, to sustain yourself, to be confident here. And this is what I'm seeing with this difficult time when I said you got to kind of go hermit with it. Like if you feel like you need to get the emotions out and cry and all this shit, it's like, you know, allow yourself that private time to just be with yourself. Like you don't need to cry on anyone's shoulder. I mean, of course, you do what you're guided to do. If you feel like you need someone, absolutely, obviously, right? But generally, this reading is saying that you can be there for yourself. You know how to take care of yourself. You know how to nurture yourself. Okay. What will help you delve deeper into your heart space to explore what you need and don't want in your life? Cycles. With the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Tell me a little bit more about that Page of Pentacles. 6 of Wands and the Page of Cups. It's perspective in a sense. It's like understanding the cycles you've been through and why you've been through those cycles. It's that objectivity kind of I was talking about. It's like standing back and observing your own feelings. What's happening? Why are you feeling this way? Are you, quote unquote, overreacting? You know what I mean? It's like, are you being triggered from something? And like, how can you use that energy rather than suppress it? Like, how can you redirect it? So it's understanding here your cycles related to, well, your life path and the things you've been through. And it's also being compassionate with yourself insofar as nobody taught you how to go through this. You didn't have a manual. And for some of you, you didn't have a strong guide as a child, right? Nobody taught you how to really protect yourself. Not really. And you've now mastered that. Like, you've taught yourself that. You've learned that for yourself. And you're very victorious in that. And the new cycle coming in for you is one of creativity, and love and emotion, and less about the physical plane. What can you give me? What can I get from you? Where are we going? How are we going to afford this? Those, which are important questions, but that cycle of those kinds of concerns is coming to an end, and you're going to be rebirthed here in the cup energy, in the creative emotional space. You're going to find ways that you can play again and not be so serious all the time. How can you use the medicine of this lunar eclipse to help you birth what you desire? We have a hole in the soul. The Hermit in reverse. You're going to patch that hole up. That proverbial hole in the soul, right? Maybe it's little tiny hole. Maybe it's big. Okay, you're going to work on how to fill that, how to patch that up. And for many of you, it's a time of relief because you're coming out of shadow work. Now, we always do shadow work. Like, we return to it time and time again because shit happens in our life. Things go in the shadow. We got to deal with it, you know? But it's like, it's spring, you know, depending on where you are. But like, well, there's a lot going on in Aries. So it's time to come out of the cave here and use the wisdom that you gained to fill that hole in the soul here from your own knowledge. There's also an understanding here that you can go in hermit mode or like go away and do some processing with your own emotions, take care of yourself, but it doesn't need to turn into something long term. It doesn't need to turn into its own cycle. Yes, you've learned the lesson of the hermit here, and so you can now draw on that lesson, on that energy, and use it when you want to use it and put it away when you want to put it away, rather than having, I'm hearing that karmic energy overtake you and direct you. Now you are directing it. That's pretty cool. What a cool reading. I'm going to get some last cards here to close this out. Maybe the Moonology. Something here. Last messages for the collective. Very close to achieving your goal. Have faith in your dreams. Be bold and make the first move. It's a good time with all that going on in Aries, Jupiter in Aries. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.